Liz Truss is the new UK Conservative Party leader and new British Prime Minister. She was announced as the winner of a competitive race against party mate and former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak. Truss moves into Downing Street tomorrow.
It's an honour to be elected as leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. I'd like to thank the 1922 committee, the party chairman and the Conservative Party for organising one of the longest job interviews in history. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank my family, my friends, my political colleagues and all of those who helped on this campaign. I'm incredibly grateful for all of your support.
Let's talk a little bit more about this with London-based journalist Jon Offei-Ansah, founder and publisher of Africa Briefing, a Pan-African news magazine. He joins us now to share his observations from London. Jon, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for the time. So I'd just like to hear your impressions about the race itself. It has been a tight one. You've been watching it for a while now. Are you surprised by the outcome? There have been a lot of pundits that had put Rishi Sunak ahead of Liz Truss, but some had said that they foresee the Conservative Party leaders or membership favouring her over Rishi Sunak.
Yes, if you recall, in our previous interview last month about this leadership contest, what I said was that Rishi Sunak, won, had, the support of the majority of the Conservative parliamentarians. Actually, she won. Sorry, Rishi Sunak won the vote in Parliament, and I said that, look, there was an elephant in the room, and that elephant in the room was Rishi Sunak's ethnicity. I did not see Rishi Sunak, winning the leadership contest, by the vote from the rank and file Conservative Party members, just because of his ethnicity. I couldn't see that happening, and I've been proved right. But having said that, Liz Truss, has won. He's become prime minister. I think the first Tory leader to become prime minister, having failed to secure the support of either the majority of the Conservative members of Parliament or the majority of the eligible voters. Okay, the vote came. She had 81,000 votes, and Rishi Sunak had 61,000 votes. I mean, it was very close. People, analysts expected the Truss to win by a wider margin. Okay, so here we are. We have the Truss as the new British Prime Minister come tomorrow by this time.
I'm just wondering about the wider British public. The choice that has finally emerged, does it resonate with what they want? And I say this against the backdrop of the recent media reports that we've seen, that many have seen as damaging to Rishi Sunak, particularly his vast amount of wealth, his own personal wealth, that of his wife and her family. I mean, I recall reading a story about the pool that he was building and how much was going to cost, and how some ordinary Britons, say they simply can't see him relating to their ordinary day-to-day struggles.
Well, Rishi Sunak, came into government already a self-made man, the millionaire already, and his wife is also the daughter of an Indian billionaire, and the wife is also a billionairess in her own right, But look, having said this, the general feeling among the British public, from what I can gather, is rather apathy. Okay, that's what my gauging of the situation today. Okay, look, like I said, Sunak was destined to lose. But if the elections, the Conservative Party had stuck to the old method of the MPs alone choosing, their leader and therefore the prime minister, I mean, Sunak would have been, the prime minister today. We would have been talking about Sunak as a prime minister and not Liz Truss, okay? But look, Liz Truss will win the support of the British public, if she's able to deliver. Again, I said, on SAB, the previous SABC interview, that look, the average British voter votes from his or her pocket, his wallet, okay? And Liz Truss has promised to cut taxes. If you cut, the income tax, in Britain, you become more or less a friend of the average British voter. So the jury, well, it's too early to speculate, or it's too early to pass any judgment or whatever on Liz Truss, right? But the jury is still out. Let's see how she's able to deliver, because she's the first actually prime minister, in about 50 years to come to office in very, very turbulent times. The cost of living, is very high. People are even wondering how they're going to be able to pay their energy bills come winter. And we are now in early autumn. By end of October, December, we all start putting on our central heating. Okay, electricity bills are going to go up. And the price cap, there's a system here called the price cap. That means that any energy user is not going to pay beyond or above a certain limit. So the price cap is going to be increased threefold, from about more than 1,000 to more than 3,000 come early October. Okay, and she has promised to let the price cap remain at the current rates, and the government will guarantee absorb the excess. If she's able to do that, yes, she may win over the voters. And again, the NHS, the National Health Service, where every Briton uses the free National Health Service, it's in a crisis. It is, there's a shortage of funds. The COVID pandemic, put a lot of pressure on the National Health Service, right? And it needs, reform. A lot of money needs to be pumped into the National Health Service to be able to provide, the adequate care, to the sick people in the UK. So if she's able to, to tackle these problems, then yes, Liz Truss, will be embraced by the average British electorate.
So, John, that's the ordinary man on the street. Liz Truss is saying that she's looking to lighten the load in terms of green and power bills. But economists are saying putting more money into the pockets of consumers could actually worsen Britain's inflation. Britain's inflation, as we speak, that stands at 10.1%. That was as of July, the highest rate of annual inflation amongst the Group 7 group of countries of economies.
Yes, that is also another problem that she needs to confront and solve, right? And yes, like you said, some economists are saying that health policies might fuel the already high inflation rate in the country. It's currently more than 10%. And some analysts, economic analysts, are predicting that, look, if she implements, the program she's said she'll implement, chances are inflation could even hit about 20% by next year, in about 12 months' time. Should that happen, Liz Truss is toast, because already, like I said earlier on, she hasn't got the full backing of her colleagues in Parliament. And we've heard in the grapevine that, through the grapevine, that even some members of her party in Parliament have already started planning, to out her even before, her term is ended. So look, these are some of the problems, she's confronting.
John, just a quick one.
Make sure that her policies do not fuel inflation.
Just a quick one, because we have run out of time, and I want to talk about jobs. I believe that there are signs of a cooling in demand for workers. Job vacancies, which hit a record high of 1.299 million in the 3 months to May, have begun to fall, while the number of unemployed people rose in June for the first time in 17 months. How is she proposing to deal with this?
Well, she thinks she'll by cutting taxes, both income tax and corporation tax, right? It will afford industry, businesses to be able to get some leeway, the latitude to employ more people. But then even cutting the taxes, without doing that in tandem with tackling the energy prices, because businesses are also reeling under the high cost of energy these days. So if she is not able to do one in tandem with the other, I'm not sure the job prospects would improve anytime soon.